Stay tuned for Wrestling with Computers, the show about technology. Get something to write with and something to write on. Turn on your computer, because we're off to the world of technology, and you're going to want to take notes. Welcome to Wrestling with Computers, the show about technology. Today we're going to talk about the new threats that are out there in the environment, online threats. One of the big ones is a call from Microsoft. Someone calls your house saying that they're from Microsoft, explaining that Microsoft has found a bunch of viruses on your computers. Well, in the first place, Microsoft's got a lot better things to do than monitor your computer for viruses. They're not going to call your house. And secondly, you need to be vigilant on this one, because they will explain that they're from Microsoft, they won't let you off the hook, and they'll tell you that for $200 you can get the viruses off your computer and get a lifetime membership for a Microsoft antivirus. Don't fall for it. It's a big scam. It's been out there for a while, but it keeps resurging. If someone calls and says they're from Microsoft, ask them for some certification that they are from Microsoft. Ask them for a phone number. Ask them for a website that you can go to see that they're real. Call our office. We'd be more than happy to talk to you about it and show you that they are a scam. One of the other ones that's out there right now is a fake antivirus. It'll pop up on your screen saying that you have 456,000 viruses. Click here to get rid of them. Again, if it's too good to be true, it is. So what will happen with this virus, or malware actually, is you click that button, it'll take you to a website and ask you for $50 to take care of your problems. Don't fall for it. Again, it's another scam. One of the new ones is a tax refund scam. The latest purports itself to be a refund notification. It tells a recipient that they're eligible for a hefty refund from the taxes. And to avail that refund, they need to open the attached archive and extract the files inside into their system. As of this writing, Trend Micro received more than 6,000 related samples of this particular spam campaign, making it one of the more prolific campaigns targeting today's tax season. Again, if it's too good to be true, it is. Some of the ways to combat these new viruses and malware is, one of the things I tell my clients all the time is, you can't protect yourself from yourself. So you need to be the biggest part of your security. Be vigilant. Be smart. Again, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. Know your antivirus and your spyware and your operating system. The reason that you want to know this is because if something pops up telling you about something on your system, you want to know that you have Norton, or you have McAfee, or you have Trend Micro, or you have any of the other antiviruses. Because every logon or every script that comes up from those software will have a logo. Norton has a big Symantec logo on all of their stuff saying, I'm Symantec and I'm here to tell you something. So if you know what antivirus you have, then you will know exactly if it's viable or not viable. Same thing with anti-malware. Just a big thing about the difference between malware and viruses again. Viruses are something that you have to click on. If you click on that thing, it installs your virus into your system. So if you see something from email, from someone sent you something, if your producer gave you a thumb drive, you need to make sure that that's from a viable source. If you don't know if it's a viable source, then you don't click on it. Because once you click on it, the virus will be installed into your system and infect your entire system. The main objective of a virus is to shut your system down. Now, malware, on the other hand, is something that you innocuously can get on any website. It piggybacks on the back of most websites. So an innocuous, minor malware, what it does is it monitors where you go on the web. So it can monitor you go to a sports site a lot. So it sells that list to a sports spammer so that you can get a whole bunch of spam because of that. Really bad malware registers key clicks, so it can register your password to your bank or passwords to anything. Malware just sits on your computer, taking up processor speed and collecting information. So you want to be careful of that. You want to make sure that you have some sort of malware, anti-malware software that's monitoring that and telling you that you have that and getting rid of it. You want to be secure. You also never, ever, ever, ever let anyone into your system except an IT company that you know. One of the big things that Microsoft scam does is the guy wants to get into your computer. So he sends you a link to go to get into your computer. Once he's into your computer, he can get any information he wants. He now owns that computer. So you want to make sure that you never, ever, ever let anybody into your system that you don't know is secure. So if Microsoft calls, you got to certify them before you let them into your system, and they're not going to call. You also, you have a little advantage with the web where you can check things out. If you get a call or an email from somebody saying that they're the IRS ready to give you a refund, you can go on Google and Google that. You can go on Snopes, which is a website that looks for farces and tells you whether they're real or they're fake. You can also call our office. Call Brewster PC Solutions anytime with any questions. We'd love to talk to you about whether this is a scam or whether this is real. I get a lot of calls from a lot of our clients asking whether they should download an update from, most of the time it's from Microsoft or it's a Java update. These are companies that have software that's run throughout the web. And you need to make sure that, yeah, it is a viable update, but you do need to do those updates. Finally, one other thing you can do is make sure that your system is checked on a regular basis. Brewster PC Solutions has some great programs, but you want to make sure that you're checked on a regular basis to make sure that you are up to date, secure, and backed up. All of these things can make sure that you're less vulnerable. If your antivirus is up to date, if your malware is up to date, anti-malware is up to date and running, and your Microsoft updates are up to date, all of these things create patches and plug holes so that it's harder and harder for those people, those virus people and malware people, to get into your system. That's what you want to do. You want to create a secure environment. All right, moving on, the National Cybersecurity Alliance and the Better Business Bureau and Brewster PC Solutions say now is the perfect time for a digital spring cleaning. You're out spring cleaning your house. You're, dusting out everything, taking things that, you're taking all the winter stuff, putting it in the cellar and bringing out all your spring stuff. You're cleaning the house. You're opening the windows. You're taking things out that don't need to be there. Well, keeping all web-connected devices and other things clean creates a secure environment like we were talking about before. So including PCs, mobile phones, smartphones, and tablets free from malware infections makes the internet safer for you and more secure for everyone. So a bunch of stuff that you can do is keep all critical software current. That's what we talked about before. Cleaning up your mobile life. Most of us has apps we no longer use, as well as ones that need updating. Delete unused apps and keep other ones current, including the operating system on your mobile device. An added benefit of deleting unused apps is more storage space and a longer life. Just like a computer, keeping your Microsoft or Apple updates up to date, your mobile device needs to be up to date. Now, you'll get an update from Apple or from any of the other mobile updates, and you'll say, I don't want to do that. It always takes up time and space, and Well, those updates contain patches and whole things that plug holes, so it makes it more difficult for people to get into your system. This is just like your computer. It has actually more information sometimes than your computer does that's sensitive and you don't want taken. So the more you can do to secure that, the better. You want to make sure you're secure. Enhancing the security of your online accounts is a fast and simple way to be safer online. Make better passwords. If your passwords are too short or easy to guess, it's like leaving your car unlocked in a parking lot. You want to make sure that you've got 8 characters, a cap, and another character other than a word. You want to make it long enough and difficult enough for everybody to get. Occasionally, I'll go into some of my clients when they're new to my system and they haven't even got passwords. That's the first line of defense. So anybody walking off the street can walk in and turn on your computer. You don't want that vulnerability. You want a unique account and a unique password. This is a huge problem for a lot of my clients because they have many passwords on many sites. And they want to keep them all the same because they can't remember them all. Well, if one hacker gets one password, he's going to get your entire password across your entire system. That means your online banking, that means your credit cards, everything. So that you will have to play catch up and have your system monitored if you get hacked. So if you have one password for everything, it's bad. If you have one different password for different sites, then that's one more step that the hacker will have to use. Now, there's different programs that you can use to save passwords. Symantec has a great one that will save one password, will open up a password manager that manages all the passwords for all your different sites. So you want to make sure that you have different passwords, that all those passwords are different for different sites. You also want to make sure that your phone is secure. Again, it's another computer. So you want to use a password or a finger swipe to unlock your phone. Again, a lot of my clients say, well, I just want to get to it quickly. Well, with a new iPhone, you can use your thumbprint. But you want to make sure that this is secure. I can't tell you how many times I've had clients who have left their phone somewhere. And you want to make sure that there's one line of defense, that you can get in, that they can't get in without using your password. And again, Apple has a great feature with Find My iPhone, where you can find your iPhone and lock it or wipe it remotely. So you want to make sure that this is just as secure as other things. You also want to clean up your online reputation. Take an active role in shaping your digital footprint. Own your online presence. Review the privacy and security settings on websites you use to be sure they remain set to your comfort level for sharing. It's okay to limit with whom you share your information. Facebook is a huge one. You don't want to share that your daughter had a birthday and here's the birthday party with everybody. You just want to share that with your family. So you want to make sure that your digital footprint is what you want it to be, not what everybody gets. Clean up your social media presence. Delete old photos and comments that are embarrassing or no longer represent who you are. It's really a big thing that we need to talk to our children about, because they need to know when something goes online, it goes online forever and everybody can see it. So you want to have that conversation with your kids, because that's a huge problem in today's society, is kids put something on the internet and share it with everybody, and they don't realize that it's everybody and that it's up there forever. Oh, I put it there a year ago, totally forgot about that. Well, that's something you want to be on top of. Search for yourself online. Update information that is no longer current. If you Google yourself, you can see all the information about yourself. And a lot of times, Google has old addresses, old phone numbers, all that stuff. So you want to make sure that's current and that it's secure. And you want to update your online self. Is your LinkedIn profile current? Are other social media sites up to date? Review your personal information and update it where needed, so that you want to make sure that all that stuff is updated and secure. Digital file purge and protection. Tend to your digital records just as you do your paper files. It's today's society. We would get mail, for example, and we would take that mail and we'd filter through it. Oh, that's junk mail. I'm going to throw that in the trash. Oh, that's a bill. I have to put that in my bill folder. Oh, that's a letter from someone that I used to know. I'm going to read that. Well, what we do now is we keep it all in our inbox. And that inbox grows and grows and grows. Well, a lot of junk mail can contain digital signatures and bad things. So you want to get rid of that junk mail. You want to delete stuff. And just an extra tip, when you delete stuff in Outlook, for example, it goes into your deleted file. You need to take care of that deleted file. You want to do that spring cleaning. You want to go through and delete everything from that deleted file so that it's not in there anymore. You want to go through and you want to clean out your inbox. A lot of people keep what I call a CYOA file. Well, I get clients who say, well, I don't want to get rid of everything because I might need that email. Well, you don't need to keep it in your inbox. You can create a folder system that you can move all that stuff to that isn't in your inbox. It's just a way of managing your clutter. You want to manage subscription. Unsubscribe to newsletters and emails, alerts, and updates you no longer need. Now, just a word of caution. When you get junk mail and there's an unsubscribe button on that junk mail, well, legally, they have to offer that unsubscription. Now, if it's something like the Boston Globe or the New York Times, you can hit that unsubscribe button, go and unsubscribe it. Now, if it's somewhere you've never been and you don't know how you got on this list, just a little bit of caution there. You might want to call the office to find out if this is something that you can click or not, because a lot of spammers out there, what they'll do is they'll put a unsubscribe button on their email, and what it is a button to go right to their site. And that way you can get infections and you can get things. So you want to be a little vigilant about that. You want to make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be. And you want to make sure that you can unsubscribe to things and not click that button by accident. Also, you want to update your online photo album. Go and delete things offline. Well, what I'm saying is you want to make sure that you get the stuff off there that you don't need, so there's not that much of an online presence. And empty your recycling bin. Again, just like Outlook, when you delete something on your computer, it goes to the recycling bin. And that recycling bin, the stuff is still there. You need to empty that recycling bin as much as you can. Update your online relationships. Review friends on social networks and contacts on phones and PCs, and make sure every one of those still belongs. You might have, for example, friended somebody on Facebook, and you go through and, why did I friend that person? I didn't even know that person. Well, you want to make sure that that's not an online predator. You want to make sure that you're sharing things with the people that you want to share things, not with everybody. You want to delete old archived files. Now, this is a huge problem. I myself am guilty of this. I'll let it go for years before I really need to go through my computer. Well, now's a great time to do a spring cleaning. You want to make sure that when you do that spring cleaning that you're going through all those old folders and saying, do I need it, do I not need it? In the old society, we would have those folders in a cabinet, and we'd go through and say, well, don't need that, and we'd throw it all away. Well, in the digital age, we sit there and say, oh, digital is infinite. Well, it's not infinite, it's very finite. You have to manage your space, much like, with Dropbox and the other online cloud things. You got to manage that cloud. You only have a finite amount of space, so you want to make sure that you go through that. And you want to back up all your stuff. you want to make sure that there's some sort of backup, because when you have data, your data is just that. It's data on your computer. That's the most important thing on your computer. So once you clean everything up, you want to make sure it's backed up so that the data isn't lost. And when clients ask me, well, when should I back up? How often should I back up? What should I back up? Well, the answer to that question is, what could you afford to lose? So if you're a business and you're inputting a whole bunch of data every day, you want to do that daily or hourly. If you're a homeowner and you've got some pictures, well, those pictures should be backed up maybe weekly, but you want to make sure you have a plan for that backup. You don't want to be the backup. You don't want to put a thumb drive into the side of your computer and move the stuff to the thumb drive, copy it there as the backup. You want to have a program that does the backup for you, because that backup will make sure it's done. The time that you don't put that thumb drive in or back up to a disk or do something is the day that you have that hurricane and the entire system goes blank. Again, you want to make sure that you're backed up so that you can get back to work or back to whatever you need in the least amount of time. That's a huge part. And finally, just a green thing, you want to dispose of electronics securely. Wiping data isn't enough. When you dispose of old electronics, look for a facility that shreds hard drives, disks, or memory cards. You want to make sure when you take that computer to the dump, you take the hard drive out. Get it to Brewster PC Solutions. We can take care of scrubbing that data for you. But that hard drive is all the data. You want to make sure that that is secure. You want to take it out of there. Even if you've taken all the data off of there, there's ways of getting data off of things that would still be there. Data is data. You want to make sure that's secure and not in a computer that you're throwing away. You also want to make sure that you're throwing computers away in a green way. You don't want to just throw them in, the landfill. There's a bunch of different companies that will take computers that will dispose of them properly. I believe the town has a couple dates where they have a electronics disposal day. They come and you can bring all the electronics to the big trucks, and they take them and dispose of them the way that they're supposed to be. So we've talked a lot about viruses. We talked a lot about keeping your equipment, your technology clean, and doing a spring cleaning. Now, what you want to do is you want to make sure that gets done, and you want to get to a program or a maintenance program where that's done on a regular basis. Otherwise, it becomes this big, huge thing that you're taking care of. So when you're talking about electronics, make sure that you clean those electronics, that those electronics are up to date and running properly. If you need any help with this, please call the office, Brewster PC Solutions. Call us at 508-746-6423. Email us on the web at wbrewster@Brewster PC Solutions. And don't be afraid of technology and keep learning about it. We'll see you next time.